Alright. What's up, everybody? We are back with the salt mines, where StarCraft players have mental breakdowns because real-time strategy is serious business. If you thought that your ego maybe rested on your success in your life, career, partners, relationships, all sorts of other things, hobbies and whatnot, remember that no one's self-worth is more tied up in their hobby than StarCraft players. Doesn't matter if you're a gold player, platinum player, or a professional gamer. Game doesn't go your way, and you will absolutely have something to say about it. And often those somethings are quite funny, which is the entire basis of this show. We've got Moose in the bottom left, Cognuts in the top right. It's a ZVP, and I can't wait to see what we've got in store for us. I did just Google before we started, because I was like, Cognuts, is that a thing? I Googled it. Apparently the Cobnut, because obviously Google just thought it was a typo, because Cognuts no is not a thing. Cobnuts apparently are a type of fresh harvested hazelnut in the UK, harvested in Kent, while the outer husk is still green and they have a sweet flavor. I don't think that's what Cognut's name is referring to. Instead, I'm thinking more of kind of like the gearhead guy out of Rick and Morty, and then he's got all these like cogs and gears on him. Whatever his nuts look like, that's what I'm imagining Cognut's name is based off of. Perhaps I'm completely incorrect. You guys let me know your theories. Moose, on the other hand, a very standard name. A moose is basically just a big... I mean, are they like more like a cow or a horse? Is a moose like... Because is it more of like a deer and moose kind of related? And like... Because I feel like a big bull moose is so friggin' big, it's more like a giant cow. They're so tall and huge. I don't even know. Correct, he gets his cognuts put onto his face, says chat. It's a deer and a cow mix, essentially, says Twitch chat. Ah, okay. Yeah. What can I say, guys? Pretty standard openings. Hatchcast pool. Both players are about 60 APM for the Zerg, 90 for the Protoss. So that's generally platinum-ish. But the build orders tell me this is diamond, just because they've been... Oh, maybe not, actually. We're already missing a lot of probe production and stuff. Oh, maybe not diamond. Who knows? I thought the build order was pretty tight for both sides at the start. Zerg one looks pretty standard. Like, this looks like a very typical Zerg build order. This is like... I'm guessing diamond 3 right now, right? But the APM's saying maybe plat. It's definitely not gold, I would say. Very unlikely, just with how tight the openings have been. I say, once again, looking at a Protoss player who keeps on... He's now chrono boosting a Nexus while not building probes. Alright, Moose. Immediately make me regret my complimenting your build order. What is the plural of moose? Is it meese? I don't think it's... No, it's mooses. Is it? I don't know. It's definitely not meese. A flock of meese. Bloody Canadians trolling us. They're like, yeah, because we have lots of geese, so therefore all of our animals use the same plural. It's a murder of mooses. It's a murder of crows. That one's already used, Furious George. You can't use it again. That's not how it works. Pig, I'm a silver. I have 145 APM average and can't win games. Help, LOL. You have to you don't need that much APM. Just go in a custom game and play with your build orders. And remember, you're not meant to win your games when you start in StarCraft. This is the thing. A lot of people get in StarCraft. They think they're meant to win games. If you're legitimately a new player, keep in mind when you're starting, you're going to be playing like probably a platinum player in your first match, something about there. And it'll adjust your MMR very quickly. But for a lot of people, it takes 5, 10, 15 matches before you can actually get to that point. Now, the Adepts are going to come in here for Moose. Lings are going to surround them. And the Adept is going to shade. But Moose not really going to find much here. There's a lot of Lings he's forced out, though. So there's kind of indirect damage by forcing so many Zerglings. Other than that, though, looks like we've got a second gas very early for Cog. And it is going to be a Void Ray opening. So Moose here has a Sentry, a Shield Battery, a Zealot, a couple of Adepts. Going for a Void Ray now. This is interesting. And now a bunch of Gateways. So there's a very common thing at low level where players will kind of build things that don't really go very well together. So if you're going Void Rays, they don't go very well with ground units that much. I mean, you could go like Zealot, Void Ray, I guess. But yeah, no, we're going to keep building Void Rays and chronoing them. So this is pretty messy build order, pretty sloppy, I'd say. But if they go like charge with this, maybe charge Arc on it, could work out. Zerg, on the other hand, needs to drone desperately. 30 drones at almost 5 minutes and is taking the gas way too early. Way too early to be going into all this gas right now because notice Cognuts doesn't even have the natural saturated. He's already going to 4 gas. Now, if he's given a few minutes to drone up, he's got a bit of a mineral bank, he might be able to recover, but he's already rallying drones over to the 3rd, even though the main's undersaturated. Oh, he's fixed it. He fixed the main. And the natural as well. Also missing quite a few injects. So this is kind of a chilled out game. I'm thinking maybe mid-plat, maybe low-plat. I don't know. Somewhere in the platinum realm. Maybe low-plat is what we're kind of getting at here. I don't know why I'm playing Guess the MMR today, guys. But look at that. This is what I'm saying. Why do we have 3 gateways if we're just going to play Stargates? Should have just taken the 4th gas earlier, the 3rd and 4th gas, and put workers on that. But Moose has been supply blocked for a moment here after warping that in. He's going to shade some adepts forward for a little bit more pressure, or maybe just to secure a 3rd base. But look at this great Ling vision for Cognuts. Cognuts has put his Ling nuts all over the map. He's got vision everywhere. He's tried to put this guy on the tower, by the way, and realized he can't get there. So this Ling is going to take, it's going to do 2 damage in attack, guys, which means it'll take 1,000 attacks to break this debris. Good luck with that, buddy. More Lings are coming forward. Baneling speed is on the way. Oh, are you doing bronze to GM? Maybe, but it's double Evo, but also with Aspire. So Cognuts is trying to play Ling Bane Muta against Protoss. Pretty weak against Phoenix. Luckily, Muso has the scouting of a blind moose, in that hasn't really moved out except with those 2 adepts early, and is just chilling. So as long as Muso doesn't realize, the first Mutalisks could come in and surprise. Likewise, Corruptors will be excellent against all of the non-Void Ray air units, of course. For the moment, it's Void Rays. So you'd ideally, as Zerg, build a big wave of Mutas, kill all the Void Rays, and then you can swap into Corruptors to counter the Phoenix that will be coming. Hallucinated Phoenix comes in, scouts the base here. 52 workers for Zerg, still not up on 3 base full saturation just yet. And that's kind of a problem for the Zerg, because if your minerals aren't saturated, you lose a lot of overall income. But I think it's okay, because the Protoss is just so lethargic. Like, you know, the Lings came in, killed the Adepts, denied the 3rd. So Protoss is just sat on 2 base, making air weapons, making Void Rays one at a time, not even using the 2nd Stargate. This is basically your Skytoss player who doesn't really know how to play Skytoss. Very common. Kind of going to make 3 gateways, a bunch of Adepts, and a Sentry for no reason. Probably should have just gone straight to mass air units. And double upgrade Massling is actually quite good against this style, as it can base trade really well. Now, Corruptors are going to come out straight away. Corruptors do counter everything that's not Void Rays. They can beat Void Rays if you got the numbers, but 5 on 5, it's a little bit like sending 5 children to go fight 5 adults. It's not going to work out well. You need to swarm with those Corruptors, and preferably get them when the Prismatic Alignment's not available. Queens could defend this, but does Cognuts have those Queens together? Few Queens coming over here, but only 3 Queens. Not going to be able to defend this on their own. Misses the first Transfuse. Second Transfuse does go down. The Spores are coming up. Corruptors here as well. With the Corruptors and the Queens together, maybe it does look like those Voids are going to run away. They could turn and kill these Corruptors, though. Cognuts chasing into a very dangerous situation does have to back away. Both sides back away from each other. Muso down here. Still thinking about a 3rd base. Holy moly, you're taking so long to take this 3rd, brother. Brother, what are we doing, mate? Finally. It's going to take that. 2 pylons, 2 gases. No doubt we'll want to throw cannons and batteries down there as well. Carriers are on the way, or carrier, I should say, as there's not been enough gas mining. This gas was so late to start mining. It's all about your gas when you play Skytoss. Oh, Banes are going to roll in. The Zealots are kind of spread out a little bit, though. But there's not much actual damage. Ling's getting a decent little surround. Void Rays will come over to defend. That was a pretty small attack, it felt like, from Cognuts. Now Cognuts really kind of puts their back into it and builds 50 Zerglings, as well as a 5th base. If Coggo can do a few more attacks like that, but actually kill the 3rd before the cannons get up, that would be amazing. If not, he's going to need to drone these extra bases and really have an avalanche of units to come through in the future. Another thing you can do is blow up the natural. Notice Muso's walled himself in. So Muso's like, look, mate, I don't know how to use units in wall. If the best Protoss player in the world can't do it, hero, then I definitely can't do it. Guy in the comments, I know that. Ping, Classic is better than Hero. Yes, right now, Classic is better than Hero. Guy in the comments. Well, actually, Ping, your prediction video for EWC, you put Hero above Classic. I made that before RSL happened. It took me a few days to put it out, okay? I would have put Classic ahead of Hero if I'd seen the RSL results when I made that one. As obviously Classic's PVZ is unmatched right now. And I think Muso here is basically doing random things. Notice how he only moves units of a certain type around. Like the Void Rays for some reason aren't with the carriers. So Muso's finally got a 3rd up, has busted the pylon down to get out of his base. And it's kind of just hanging around with groups of units over it. This has got to be one of the most disorganized Protoss players. His goal, essentially, any Protoss player, guys, who's playing Skytoss, their goal is to just sit in that corner kind of touching themselves until 25 minutes when they have a big ball of Skytoss units with sick upgrades. So all you really do is build cannons, some Void Rays, some cannons, and then you just make carriers and camp and hope the Zerg isn't good enough to counter it, which, unfortunately, Cognut's economy is just really crap right now. 59 drones. Cognut's probably feels like he's got a good economy because he's on 6 bases, but these bases aren't mining. And the main is half mined out. The natural will be half mining out soon. So Cognuts just doesn't have a lot of money to work with, and really should have had either these waves hitting much more frequently or 30, 40 more drones much earlier. And I think should have avoided building Corruptors entirely early on and just relied on Queens and Spores to defend that Void Ray attack, which they could have done, especially if every single Queen went on the control group, and then could have just done like massive Ling Bane swarms, and this third never would have got up. That being said, no wall off in the natural. The Stalkers and Sentries are over at the 4th. They're not in position. But that's not enough Corruptors to take down this air army. The Ling Bane is just clicking into the main. I don't know, is this even going to be good? I mean, if they kill all the probes, I guess it probably is. Cognuts blows up every worker in the natural. The probes do transfer out of the main. He's clicked his whole army on the assimilator in the main. Oh no, Coggo, not the whole army, but a big pack of Lings. He did accidentally click on that assimilator by the looks of it. Ling Bane's crashing in. I mean, he's not going to kill too much. He depowers the Stargates. If he can click the Nexus, that would be great, but he's not going to target it. The Lings going back down to the natural mineral line could be good, but there's a few cannons around, warp-ins as well, and the cannon behind the mineral line doing an excellent job of kind of luring those Zerglings away. Nexus does survive. Protoss is still on 3 base. If Protoss wasn't bad, they could come back so quickly, but they keep warping in gateway units. Not the important thing. The important thing is building star units, and most importantly, triple chronoing probes right now. They need to triple chrono probes, build a 4th Nexus, and basically just rebuild, because if they rebuild, that was a kind of bad trade for the Zerg. 3,000 resources lost, more than the Protoss, and even though, yes, there was a 3rd mining a lot earlier, still no usage of the 4th, only 2 drones there. A bit of gas here. Gas is not the important resource. Often feels like it is to go Corruptors and Vipers, but Mass Ling Bane, I think, would be a much more effective way of overwhelming this, but without the mineral income, it's going to be hard. Now 72 drones are up, 7 more drones building. Problem is, there's no answer for the ground army. If Muso does counter thrust right now, they could win. Muso, though, is kind of incompetent. I'm sorry, Muso, but why are we building a Nexus and gateways? What are we doing? I guess he wants to wall off or something? Mate, probes! This base has got 23. This one's got 11. This one's got nothing. You're not mining gas. What are you doing? And we're making High Templar. That's good if we have Storm. I guess we're just going to go Archons because we don't want to use spells. We want to A-move. But, like, where's your probes? Your whole style is like a turtling defensive style. Building probes is kind of important if you guys want to turtle on the ladder. It's always fascinating. Like, obviously, I just know a lot more about StarCraft than other people, guys. I think something just recalled. He just recalled probes from his 3rd to his main. That's adorable, rather than just transferring them. I don't think this is fully walled. That is an opening there as well. But it's just fascinating watching people who are in a situation where my game knowledge is kind of screaming at me like, this is your goal, these things you need to do. And obviously players with less experience don't know that, so they kind of just do things that occur in the moment or that they remember to do, and I'm just there watching my screen like, what are we doing, man? Like, please, like, finally the probes are happening, but there's a few minutes where nothing needs to happen before they remember the important priorities. And that's always, like, fascinating for me to watch. Now, Cognuts is going to come pee on these rocks. I don't think that one really matters too much, but hey, it's not too bad. Adrenal's coming in, +2 flyer attacks as well. I do think Ling Bane in the natural would be great, but Muso's actually left 2 Archons there, so that's not a good place to attack with Ling Bane. Could just overwhelm this with Ling Bane Corruptor, actually, right? It's 100 Zerglings, 23 Corruptors, 2 Vipers, Parasitic Bombs as well. Oh my god, he's looking for the Parasitic Bombs, is he? Or the Abducts? Which one's he going to do? Oh no, he's botched it. Just go! A-move! Cognuts, A-move, mate! You gotta go! Cognuts does end up pulling the trigger. And I think he's going to clean this army up, finally. He does go for an Abduct on an Archon away from the Ling Surround, so we actually save that Archon from a Ling Surround for a few seconds, which is adorable. Corruptors will take out all the carriers, though, and that's all you need. Cognuts had enough time, despite the very slow droning early on, to finally drone up to that big economy. Oh my god. Economy? I don't know. Not fun game, says Muso. Cognuts drops the question marks. Muso says Lings OP. That's funny. Okay, Skytoss says Cognuts. So the question, I mean, it's funny. It's like, it's not a fun game when you lose. I do agree with that assessment, Muso. People often ask me, Pig, what's your favorite matchup? What's your favorite race to play in StarCraft? What's your favorite mirror matchup? And I'm always like, the one I'm winning with the most. I've noticed the tens of thousands of games of StarCraft, I've noticed a high correlation between winning and fun, okay, guys? It turns out that does, I mean, you can have fun while you're losing, but it's a little bit more rare, you know? All right, Peas on the Nexus takes it down. Okay, Skytoss, question mark. Okay, bro, says Muso. Making a bunch of Archons. Probably should have made these Archons to deal with the Lings a bit earlier, mate. And honestly, I mean, if Muso had just got a third up and got enough cannon battery spread across the bases earlier, would have been able to defend much easier, much earlier. Cognut's like, you got Archons and Storms. Well, he didn't actually make Psystorm. He does have Psystorm. I don't think we've seen him use it. And he's making Stalkers! Why would you make Stalkers here? You have no upgrades on the ground except Plasma Shields. Archons are great against Lingbane. Stalkers, guys, in the comments chat, what does Stalkers counter? I'll wait. Nothing! No, they're a generic unit you can do if you've got a big economy, because they fill many roles, and with fantastic top player micro, they're actually quite good in certain situations. Stalkers, on the other hand, just being built generically by a player who's behind, not going to work out. Corruptors unzip their fly, P on the Nexus, forces the recall. He says, you're out of position. Ultraling could go get that third, and that's what he's going to do, right? Go! Go, you made him recall, mate! Go, get in there! All right, Cognuts is going to get in. He's going to get in and grab him by the Cognuts, apparently. And that army's not even coming down, man. Moose just like, this is not fun. You made me recall to my mate. Well, you're dead now, mate. You're dead. Just give up and please stop making Stalkers. If you make another round of Stalkers, I will be very, very upset. Chat's pointed out I have a blind spot. They've said Stalkers actually counter Overlords and Drones. Oh, I forgot about that. Sorry, guys. They do beat both of those head to head with insane value. Why are you running? Well, he said, why are you running? Which sounds like, why have you got diarrhea? LOL, stop being a tool. Well, Cognuts, I think, is going to have a lot of fun peeing on your buildings right now. Lol, so good. Zerg is runny. Zerg is a very runny race, guys, if you think about it. Like, not only stylistically do you often run away from bad fights, you do hit and run tactics, but also if you look at a lot of their biological features, there's a lot of wet, somewhat viscous fluid that gets expressed from various orifices, often to do damage to your opponents. And I think right now Cognut's fine and says, you know what, let's not be runny. Let's stand and be fighty for a moment. And Ultras are a very fighty unit. They're not as much a runny unit, more of a fighty unit. Does clear up the Archons, the Void Ray goes down. This last Void Ray up here will be going down soon as well, and Moose will leave the game. All right, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed that episode of the Salt Mines. A bit of a more low-key episode, but it is always fun to see a player play the most boring style in StarCraft and then complain that the game was made boring. Of course, a big thanks to our Patreons. If you guys want to hop on and support, there is a button, I think, about here for you guys to check out the Patreon, or below in the description if that one doesn't work. Big thanks to Wu Zhang, of course, our conductor of the D-Town Express, as well as everybody else up there on the Wall of Bacon. Thank you so much for your ongoing support. We've got a few names as well that just signed up. Haven't put you on here yet, but you'll be up for the next video. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys next time. Goodbye and good night.